Hi, this is Dan. Today I'd like to share another chess game with you. This chess game is a little bit longer than the last two games, but still pretty short. So let's get started. White opens pawn to e4, and black answers pawn to c6. Black is preparing to move the d pawn to d5 to attack white's center. So white moves another pawn into the center, pawn to d4. And right now white's center with two pawns on d4 and e4 is very strong. So black wants to attack the center. Black plays pawn to d5. White plays knight to c3. This attacks the pawn on d5 and protects the pawn on e4. Black captures dxe4, and white answers Nxe4. So white and black trade pawns on e4. Black plays knight to f6, and white wants to protect the knight on e4, so white plays queen to d3. Now if black captures the knight, the queen can recapture on e4. So black continues pawn to e5, attacking the white central pawn on d4, and white captures black's pawn on e5. White plays dxe5, and black answers queen to a5 check. Now remember, when it's a check in chess, you have three ways to get out of check. The first way is to move the king, but if white moves the king to e2 or d1, then white won't be able to castle. The second way is to capture the queen, but right now white can't capture the queen. And the third way is to block the check, or to put another piece or pawn between the queen, the checking piece, and the king. So white plays bishop to d2, blocking the check and attacking the queen. But the queen continues by capturing the pawn on e5. So if you go back, you'll see that this move, queen to a5 plus check, is actually a fork, attacking the king on e1 and the pawn on e5. And after the bishop moves to d2 and the queen captures on e5, material is even again. So both players have 6 pawns. Okay, white continues by castling queenside. And black sees that the knight on e4 can be captured, and this looks like a very strong move because white can't capture the knight with the queen because black will just capture white's queen. So when you look at this move, it looks like black captures a knight and white can't do anything. So let's look again. Black captures the knight on e4, and it looks good for black, but white has a very interesting, very cool move here. So this move is a queen sacrifice. That means white will give black the queen, and this queen sacrifice will result in checkmate very quickly. So think about where the queen can move for this queen sacrifice. This move will be a check. So think about it. If you need to pause the video and think, you can, and then when you're ready, press play. Okay, white plays queen to d8, check. Now, black only has one move here. Remember, when it's a check, you can move the king, but the king has no squares. You can capture the queen, and the king can capture the queen, or you can put another piece or pawn between the queen and king. But there is no way to do that. So the only move is the king captures the queen on d8. And it looks like white just gave black a queen for nothing. But white did this because white has a really good plan here. And the plan involves a double check. So if you'll see this rook on d1, when the bishop on d2 moves, that rook will give check. This is called discovered check. Now when the bishop moves, if the bishop also checks the king, this will be a double check. Two pieces checking the king. So the bishop can move to a4 or, a5 or g5 to check the king. Which move is better? Can you see? Where should white move? If you need to pause the video now, you can, and then when you're ready, press play. Okay, the move white plays is bishop to g5, double check. And now the king has two moves, and both moves will be a checkmate for white. The first move is king to e8. And right now, can you find the checkmate? How can white checkmate black? You can pause the video, and then when you're ready, press play. The answer is rook to d8, checkmate. Okay, black's king cannot capture the rook because the bishop on g5 protects the rook. If the black king, after bishop to g5, double check, if the black king moves to c7, can you find the checkmate? How does white checkmate black now? Pause the video if you need to, and then when you're ready, press play. Okay, here the answer is bishop to d8, checkmate. And in the real game, this is what happened. White played bishop to g5, double check. Black played king to c7. And white played bishop d8, checkmate. Okay, so let's take a quick look. When white moved the bishop to g5, there was another double check with bishop a5, double check. And if this, then black has two moves. So if black moves to e8, you'll see that there's actually no checkmate. If the rook goes to d8, the king just moves to e7. So this doesn't work as well for white. And if the king moves to e7, the bishop can check on d8, but the king can move to e6 or e8. So the bishop move to a5 is not as good because the bishop move to g5 means white can checkmate black next move. So this is a stronger move. So when you have two moves that look good, remember to think about why are the moves different, so you can decide which move is stronger. So anyway, this is a really interesting game, and I think the queen sacrifice here is really cool. And just remember that if you see a move like this in your game, make sure you think and decide that it's really a good move, because it can be dangerous to sacrifice your queen. If the sacrifice is not good, then you might lose. So you can try this kind of move, but first remember to think very carefully and make sure that it's really a good move. So you should have a plan about, after this move, what will happen? What is your plan? What will you do next? Okay, so anyway, I hope you enjoyed this game, and I hope you are enjoying these chess videos, and I'll share another video with you soon. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening.